Hey, what's up, you guys? So I got the back door in, or the back speaker in, and I had to rig this up just because the speaker didn't fit. I mean, it fits, but you have to take this little plastic trim off and then slide it in there and adjust it. And again, you have to bend this little black tab, or this little tab that's in the speakers. Here, you can see that. Let me try to get it out so that I can show you. I'm about to do the other door. I seem to have lost a screw, or a couple of door screws, because I don't have enough to attach the other door, so I don't know where those screws have gone. I may have to take a couple off of, like one off of each of the front doors, just so that I can have, you know, a screw attached to both doors. But here's this little tab that gets stuck in the speaker hole, so it doesn't let you go through, and also this here doesn't let you go through as well, so you have to get rid of this tab to get it in, and you just bend it back. Alright, I can't seem to get it. This one seems a lot harder than all the other ones. Man. But yeah, just bend it back like that, and it should fit in the door. But for the front speakers, that's all you have to do. But for these back speakers, I had to remove the little trim that the speaker sits in. And then you get these little tiny screws, these right here, that are extremely small. So I had to use two of these longer ones, and it kind of pushed it up a little bit on here. When I tried doing it, as you can see, there's that screw. There's a slight gap, but there's foam underneath this, so it's okay. But when I tried doing it with the little door hinge plastic thing, whatever this is, focus, you piece of shit. What's this autofocus? It needs to just fucking focus. Let's see if it just stays focused all the time. Alright. Hopefully that, I don't know what this fucking button does, but anyways, so I took this off and then adjusted it and screwed it in. You can see there's some slight gap, but it doesn't seem to move a lot, so that's fine. And again, removing the back doors is super easy. There's only one. Why isn't this stupid shitty thing focusing on any of my fucking videos? There's one there and one there, and then there's one here under the screw, under the door handles, or inside the door handles, and that's all that connects the back door to it. Other than these little pins, this one stuck to the door, so I gotta pull it off. And if that happens to you, they focus, you piece of shit. They're super easy. They just slide in and out of this little groove thing here, so you can just pop it off with, I don't know, say a rubber band. Don't use pliers or anything like that. Just like wrap a rubber band around it or something, or unless you can pull it out yourself and then just slide it back in. Same thing with this here. This black stuff here is just sealant that's, you know, surrounding the door on this plastic trim stuff, whatever it is. But if you get it on you, it's extremely sticky. So that's one side. I'll go ahead and show you the other one as soon as I get this put back in. Also, once you disconnect the door, don't forget the big bottom one here is for your door, and this one here is your lock button. So don't forget to get these little grooves in there, or else, you know, you'll have issues trying to get in and out of your back seat. This plugs into the door handle, and there is a little switch, or a little, if you can see it, little tab right there. Just squeeze this tab and then just pull out, and it pops right out. And that just plugs into that right there, which is for your window controls. So let's get this one put back together and see how this sounds. Okay guys, so here is the other door. It's very simple. There's no screws on the side like your front doors, but there is one that is located right under here, if you can kind of see it, right in there. And then there is another one right under here, but I don't think you can see in there, but mine doesn't have it just because it fell out and I couldn't get it back in. And there are 2 down here, but on mine I don't have any, as you can see. If you can even see it, I don't know what has happened to the screws. I seem to have lost them over time, but one goes here, and then another one goes there, and then one's supposed to be under here, but I don't even have that one either. And the 2 screws that go up in here are fatter than the ones down here, so you'll know, because if you try to put one of the ones from these handles down there, is this even focusing? It won't fit. It'll go in a little bit, and then it won't go in any further just because it's a much fatter screw, and it looks sort of like your normal screws. And I'll show you. And these are the connectors that you'll need. These are the Mazda harness, speaker harness, 729300 Metra. And that's what you'll need so that you don't have to cut your speakers. And I'll show you the difference in the screws. And there's my cat just sitting, watching. So, let's see here. So here's the different screws. The bottom one, this one here is for the door. This one here is for the door handles. This is how you'll know which is which, just because they're a fatter screw. And for my driver's side rear door, I only have one in the handle and then one on the door, which seems to be holding up fine. I mean, no one ever gets back there, so I guess I'll just put one of these back in, put this one here back on the bottom door, and then try to somehow get this or both of these to go back into the door, because one of them is super easy to get into, the other one is just extremely difficult to get back in. And now I'll show you how to take your door how to take your door apart before it starts raining again. And it's pretty easy. You just kind of pull. I like to pull on the bottom here, and as you can see, it already came loose, and then you just kind of make your way around whichever ways seems to be easier for your vehicle. Mine seems to want to go this way, and that's it. And of course, you disconnect these, pop them out of their little groove thing. Doesn't seem to damage them. And then there is the control switch. And that's all you do. Super easy. It's just getting to the back of this little tab that's a little difficult sometimes. And there's your speaker, and these are the 3 little tiny screws that are holding it in place, and I will show you what one of these looks like. I don't know what kind of speaker this is, but this puts out a lot of bass for being a rear door speaker. Oh joy, the fun stuff. It's probably how I lost a bunch of these screws. There you go. Is it even focusing in? There you go. So this is what holds the rear door speakers in. Extremely tiny screws. And I'll have to take the whole thing apart, so I'll pick it up once I get that off. And it's pretty easy. It's just 3 of these screws, and I'll show you the difference in them. They're kind of confusing because these also match the screws that go down here on the door, not the 2 that go here. And this is why I bought the connectors for my car, because as you can see, this is all the room that I have to work with on my car. That is well, that's not a lot. So when you attach this to it, your speaker harness connector, it actually gives you a lot more room. So I guess if you didn't want to use the connectors at the end, you can just do it, cut those off, and you have plenty of wire to work with. You have a good maybe, what, 4 to 5 inches about to work with. It saves, having to deal with all of this crap, and plus it's wrapped up in this weird foam stuff. And now I'm going to, well, I guess I can show you. So I bent the tab back on there, and then it's really difficult to try to get it in. We just put those in. And it's not really difficult, you just have to mess around with it. And there's that, that's like the only little give that's in there. I mean, it takes a while to get it to just go in and sit flush with the car. And then on top of it all, you're fighting, there it goes, fighting the magnet too. So as you can see, I can attach it right there, maybe there with a longer screw, and then up here, that'll even focus in with a medium-sized screw. I could probably use a really big, or is it long screw right there. As you can see, there's plenty of room. Or you can just take this plastic piece off and do it that way. But the only thing that I worry about is, if you can see, this here has, if it'll even, this will even pick up, it's got kind of a little protective section here that goes over the speaker and keeps it from getting wet. Although mine still somehow gets wet. These cables get wet. They're all, this foamy stuff in here is all, feels rotted. I mean, it's, yeah, you can see it's just extremely hard. So that's one reason why I don't want to, you know, just pop this off and just attach it straight to the door, because you could do that. I did that with, or the shop who messed up my sound system did it, putting in the marine speakers straight into the door. So I don't know if you can see this little hole right there, but that's from one of those big long skinny screws. And I'm sure the other ones are hidden by it. There's another one, which, you know, when I attached them, I was able to attach them to this. So I don't see why they couldn't have just done that instead of drilling straight into my door. But you know, I don't know car stuff. So, and this side seems to be pretty dirty. I don't know if there's any water in here. Down here are your little, what do you call it, for your drains, but I guess you can just stick your hand down in there and feel around. But it seems to be dry, at least I can see in there. It seems to be a little dirty. But I think once I go to deaden the car, I guess I'll pull this stuff and just clean in there, and then see if I can just clean everything, maybe add some new window trims or something, anything to keep water from getting in there. Well, this is cheaply made, whatever this is. This bit right here. Because once I get these, once I'm done with the system, then, you know, or I'm content with it, then I'll go in and close everything off and, you know, never mess with it again. So until now, you know, stuff I'm doing like this, I want it to be, you know, semi-permanent, to where if I don't like it, I can just switch back to, you know, to normal and try something new. But I'll get the speaker put in. So again, you can pull this off and then adjust it and then add your speaker to it and then attach it back. But I'll see if I can just put it in there like I did with screws. Yeah, so I couldn't get the speaker to fit with it being attached and on, so I had to detach this, and this is what I was talking about, this here a little bit. As you can see, it's kind of dirty on the top, directs rain away from your speaker. So this is one reason why I don't want to, you know, just attach it to the frame like I don't know, I guess other people do, or they use that little flimsy little plastic trim that you get with the speakers that are crap. It's just this little round trim and with like pieces of plastic that stick out, which I'm sure you're supposed to break off or cut off or something, but I don't feel like messing with it. I just want to use the stock stuff. But as you can see, the fucking mess that shop did. It was NWA Custom Car Audio here in Northwest Arkansas. I don't know if it was just the kid that they had doing it, but you know, that was enough for me to not want to go back to them after, you know, having my stereo pop every time I turned it on extremely loud, that it would, you know, it felt like as if your eardrums were about to burst. Not to mention that he, you know, left his tools in the seat and sat down and then made a hole in my left front leather seat. So that was also, you know, that was nice. They killed the subs, or, you know, disconnected the subs, which was extremely stupid. They cut the wires over at the head unit, so my subs weren't working, tweets weren't working. So yeah, it was just like one just fucked up mess, and supposedly they're the best in town or whatnot. It's like fucking bullshit. I don't recommend them, but they seem to work on a lot of Dodge cars, so I guess Dodge cars are their thing, and anything else is like fucking shit, you know, that they don't give a fuck about, or at least that's what it felt like. So definitely not a shop that I would recommend. And I see I got some rusting here going on, so I'm gonna have to peel this off one of these days. Probably put some deadening stuff in here and really just clean all this up. I don't know what this plastic thing is for, but you know, I'll just clean it up. So now I'm just going to attach this speaker to this and then reattach it to here, because you can see where they just fucking drilled into my door, attaching the I don't even know what that one is for, because it's not for this, but you can see all the holes that they drilled to attach the Kicker Marine speakers with the LEDs that I had back in the day. So I'll pick this up once I attach that to this speaker. So here's what it's supposed to look like once you get your speaker in. It sits flush this way, probably right now, or at least, you know, not, it won't be flush once you start putting in your screws here, but it fits. So there's that little tab. I don't know if I can get this to focus in right there, sitting in up against there. So if you had that tab extended like it was coming from the factory, you wouldn't be able to put it in. So I just bent it back, and that's it. And then, well, okay, I can't get it out but with one hand, but that's where the little tab was that I thought that little tab there would slip into, but it didn't. So just bend it back and then pop your speaker in, and it should look like this. The little protective stuff should be on top, and your cables should be on the bottom. And then you just attach it back to the car, and so now I'm just going to put the screws in and see how that goes. None of the holes lined up, but I'll see if I can get at least one hole to line up so I can use one stock screw or something. So that's the little tab that I was talking about right there, that you can kind of slip it in and whatnot, but you have all of this room to adjust, so you can go from side to side, and that's about it. So hopefully you can maybe get some holes lined up or something, but that's it. I'm just trying to get some holes lined up, or at least one hole. I can go just a little bit this way and a little bit that way, and try to get it to line up with some of the thicker plastic so that I can at least get one good screw in, and then the rest, you know, don't really have to be that important, as long as it just, you know, makes contact and holds it in place without it vibrating. So I'll get that done and show you what it looks like. Alright, so this speaker was a lot difficult. One of the owners who bought these two said that he angled his screws, and I did that, and they still popped out just a little bit. As you can see right there, there's the other hole where it like completely popped out because the screw was too long. Here it is popping out, but it's in there nice and steady with just those two screws. And now to just pop it back in, always make sure that this top part is on top and connect it, and I'll get the door panel put together, and then we'll see how it sounds with the HTC One via Bluetooth. Alright, you guys, so I got the speakers put in. If you can see back there, there's that one. Probably should move the seat. And then there's the other one. Still haven't attached the doors because I forgot. I had to adjust it, so after attaching the doors, or the driver's side, passenger side door, I had to take it off because I remembered I didn't adjust the tweeter. So now they're in. Let's see. It'll be playing off of the HTC One. Let's see what this song sounds like.
She said, I love you nothing but a monster.